All right, guys, if you guys haven't learned by now, I'm really big on traditional values, really big on it. And one of the biggest things that I'm big on is having fathers in households. I don't care what race it is, I don't care, where you're at, what part of the country, for everybody. It is so important to have fathers in homes. And quite honestly, guys, having more fathers in homes can solve a lot of social issues in this society. I mean, there's no government program that is better than having fathers in homes, in my opinion. So when I see a story like this, where President Trump has now put a father back in a home, it just touches me in a certain way. And I ain't gonna lie, I get a little emotional about stuff like this because this is a big deal to me. This is a big deal to me. I really do feel like this is a huge problem in society that we just don't talk about enough. Things like this that do matter, that can solve a majority of our problems, we don't get nearly enough attention. This is an American issue, guys. So before I get into that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a liberal's worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at gforemanbcp. Let's get it. All right, guys, so check out this video of Duke Tanner, who was reunited with his son by being granted clemency by President Donald Trump.
First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory to God. Thank you for hearing me. But President Trump, I just want to thank you for giving me a second chance and believing in me and reading my petition. I'm just so thankful. It's just 20 years ago, I fought at the Trump Casino, and now you signed to give me clemency. First, I didn't know it was real until I was able to bring and touch this little guy right here. I left him when he was 2 years old, President Trump. You reunited me back to my family. I lost my mother and my father, but I got him. And this is what I live for. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, all praise and glory go to God. Thank you. Thank you, the whole Trump administration, because you guys read it. All the people that was a part of helping me, the advocates from Can Do to Miss Johnson to Weldon, Angelos, Amy, Brittany, everybody. Those people I never touched. I never saw a day in my life. You know what I mean? And they fought for me, and they reunited me back with my family. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you.
Tell me that video doesn't give you goosebumps. I mean, it gave me goosebumps when I saw it. It really did, man. And it's just one of those things when you see a father reunited with his son. In my opinion, there's just nothing better than that. Those are the type of stories that should be covered on everyday news, right? This is the type of stuff we should be talking about. And President Trump, let me give you a quick background on his story, so you know why this happened. President Donald Trump this week granted clemency to Charles Duke Tanner, a former professional boxer from Gary, Indiana, who was initially sentenced to life in prison for drug conspiracy. The president issued the executive grant of clemency on Wednesday for Tanner, who was 24 years old when he was arrested and convicted on the charges. It was his first conviction, and it was for a nonviolent offense. But still, Tanner was sentenced to life in prison. The sentence was later reduced to 30 years. The state of Indiana said Tanner worked to turn his life around immediately after his arrest, focused on educational courses and completed hundreds of hours of educational programming. Tanner also received staff recommendation and warden approval for an 18-month reentry program that requires recommendation from staff and approval from the warden for participation. So this guy was, in prison for a nonviolent drug offense, which he made a mistake, right? And if you make a mistake and you break the law, you guys know I'm pro law and order. But if you make a mistake and you get caught, you got to do the time. But while you're doing the time, if you are actively trying to turn your life around, especially for something that's nonviolent, you should be granted a second chance, right? That's not left or right. That's human. That's what it is. Tanner was an undefeated light heavyweight boxer who had been on a televised fight on ESPN at the time of his arrest. Indiana State Senator Eddie Melton, who's a Democrat, has been working for several years with the Trump administration to get Tanner released. So kudos to him as well. Kudos to the Democrats on that, right? If it's bipartisan, if they both work together to do something, the Democrats will get credit too. Just like President Trump get credit for signing off on it, for making it happen, he get credit too. Tanner was one of 5 people to whom President Trump granted clemency Wednesday. They were all convicted of committing drug and financial crimes, and their cases were all pushed by prison reform advocate and Trump ally Alex Johnson. All right, guys. So if you remember about Alex Johnson, Kim Kardashian had actually vouched for Alex Johnson to President Trump, and President Trump had her freed and granted her clemency as well. And then Alex Johnson turned around and then worked with President Trump to help free more people who should have been freed, guys. And this is the type of stuff that the super liberals don't understand. They don't understand about President Trump. President Trump is somebody that you can work with. He's somebody that will hear you out, even if you disagree with him politically. If you just talk to the man, if you just make a case to him, he might listen. You know, I always say this. Kim Kardashian has done more for the black community than most of all these celebrity blacks out here that's always talking this junk, like John Legend and all these other people that come out here and want to act, and Jamel Hill and all these other people who want to act super woke, who are doing nothing. When it's clearly shown that if you work with the president, he can help. And he did this, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So it's not like he was just doing it for re-election, which some people are saying he's doing it now, just for political reasons. And quite honestly, guys, I don't care if he does it for political reasons. I really don't. I don't care. It should be the politically correct and right thing to do. If you reunite one father with their child, I don't care why you did it. All I care is that you did it. That's all I care about. Kudos to President Trump on that, man. Like, he just doesn't get enough credit for this stuff, man. And I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of always hearing these conversations about, oh, he's so racist, he's so racist, he's so racist. When dude is out here doing work that President Obama didn't do. He's reaching out to the other side. He's listening to people. He's inviting people to come in and speak to him about these type of issues, and they're just not taking him up on the offer. And I've said this and I'll say it again. President Trump is the biggest missed opportunity for black people in the history of this country. And I will go to my grave on that statement. I really will. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said Wednesday in a statement that President Trump was granting clemencies in light of the decisions these individuals have made following their convictions to improve their lives and lives of others while incarcerated. Again, that's kind of what I was saying before about how, I'm a big believer in second chances. I'm a big believer in forgiveness in general, right? I mean, when it comes to, people talk about traditional values, I feel like that's one of the, essential traditional values, especially if you're religious, if you're Christian, forgiveness, being able to forgive people, especially for, again, minor mistakes that, may hurt society a little bit. But, as long as you're not being violent, you're going out here killing people and doing something really violent. At the end of the day, I think forgiveness is essential, and being able to turn your life around, have second chances, is essential. One day I'm going to talk about a story that I had experienced where, I had to forgive somebody for something personal they did to me, which I think you guys will find interesting, especially when it comes to this race conversation. The latest round of clemencies come less than 2 weeks before Election Day, as President Trump has been hammering Democrat Joe Biden over his tough on crime record during his time in the U.S. Senate. Biden, as the head of Senate Judiciary Committee, helped shepherd in the 94 crime bill that many criminal justice experts say contributed to harsh sentences and mass incarceration of black people. President Trump has granted pardons to 27 people and clemency to 16 others since taking office. Former President Barack Obama, who Biden served as vice president, granted pardons 22. But anyways, the man is willing to help, and with almost no support. Here's some statistics, guys, about fatherless homes and why they're so important to me, and why this is something, again across all races, across the whole political spectrum. We can all agree that this is an issue that, we need to focus on more in society, is putting fathers back in homes, black or white. I know, white people that are affected by, lack of fathers in homes. It happens to everybody, guys. So this is just not a black issue. This is an American issue, guys. Fatherless homes are an American issue. So this is from the Center for Children and Families. 40% of all live births in the U.S. are to single mothers. 90% of welfare recipients are single mothers. I think the poverty rate for married couples, I think across all races, is below 10% for the most part. I mean, that's your poverty prescription right there. Just being married, having a father in the home. That's a poverty prescription, guys. No, again, that's not a government program. I mean, it's really simple stuff. 70% of gang members, high school dropouts, teen suicides, teen pregnancies, and teen substance abusers come from single mother homes. Statistically, a child in a single parent household is far more likely to experience violence, commit suicide, continue a cycle of poverty, become drug dependent, commit a crime, or perform below his peers in education. That's nuts, man. That's nuts. These are some other stats. If you don't have a father in the home, you're 4 times greater risk of poverty. You're 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen, which contributes to the abortion problem. You're more likely to have behavior problems. You're more likely to face abuse and neglect. You're 2 times greater risk of infant mortality. More likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. More likely to go to prison. 2 times as more likely to suffer obesity. More likely to commit crime, and 2 times more likely to drop out of high school, guys. And guys, you can see just according to these statistics why I'm so big on this, and why even if you return one father back to his son, because a son cannot grow up without his father. A son cannot learn how to be a man without another man teaching him how to be a man. It is what it is. No disrespect to women, but both parents play a role in teaching their kids how to become functioning adults and positive contributors to society. You need both. And there's a role of a man that just can't be replaced by a woman, and there's a role of a woman that just can't be replaced by a man. So you need both. But we're missing more fathers more than anything, and not enough kids in this society have fathers in their lives. And again, like I said, that applies across the whole spectrum, politically, racially, whoever. This is a problem that we need to talk about more, and that's why I'm talking about it right now, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. And thank God for President Trump for being an advocate for this, for reaching out, for listening, and for not letting the media get to him, and for doing the right thing. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.